Hey all, it's Rafi, and today I am playing another game against the Rima, rated 2100. We've got the King's Indian same-ish setup going on here, with the Bishop G5 move order. And my plan here is very simple. So as soon as that knight comes to D7, I play knight to H3 and I bring it to F2. That's my goal. E5 or C5 happens, I just push through with D5. Bishop goes on. So with this E5 move, I'll just push D5. Now I even have options of castling and on the queen side or leaving my king in the center even. In some cases. So that move looks like it's a little bit of an inaccuracy because I can get in this move B4 right away. Oh. That is quite the surprise. But I believe it ends up being a little bit better for me, or no? I don't know. I'm not really sure, honestly, if this ended up being better for me or for him, or I don't know. So let's get our pieces developed quickly, though. Let's just start with this queen b3. And the goal is to get him to play rook b8, then take on d6, and then take on a7. And if he plays b6, then I might even just play c6 in that position, actually. And if he takes on c5, I'll take on b7 first after rook b8. Maybe I'll play queen, like, takes a7 or something like that. The thing should be maybe playable. Well, we'll have to watch out for any kind of queen traps in those lines. What else do we have to watch out for in this opening? There's always the, knight takes e4 followed by queen h4 check ideas in these kind of setups. So always good to keep that in mind as well. So that's the move I was thinking he was going to play. But this now, I believe, forcefully wins the pawn on a7, I think. I do have to be careful because queen a5 here could be, a problematic situation. Say he plays rook 8, I take on b7, then he plays queen a5. I have to be careful about that scenario. And I don't think I should take this pawn on b7 right now. I think I should just keep that on the board and let him sort of like kind of use that pawn as a use that pawn as a weakness that I can attack long term. Question is, do I play bishop b6? Do I, I think it makes the most sense just to come back, honestly. Renews the threat of queen takes b7, and there's all types of stuff. And then I'm going to play bishop d3 and castle, and queen a5, then it's bishop d2 type of defense as well. So I think, you know, he still has the weakness on b7. It's not going anywhere. So why not? Yeah, I'm not even going to worry about defending this thing. So what he wants to do is he wants to play knight f4. He wants to play f5 as well. If g3, then f5 is gonna happen. g3, f5, bishop e2. If he plays f4, that's gonna be an issue, maybe, I think, potentially. Excuse me. Any kind of bishop move runs into knight f4, I think. I think I need to get my pieces out. I think I'm gonna be fine, and I'm gonna have to deal with him taking my bishop on e2. I need to get developed. That is my #1 priority right now. And it's gonna have to be at the cost of you know, if it needs to be at the cost of a bishop pair, that's fine with me. If I don't get developed, nothing is gonna happen for me in this game. Let's gain a tempo on the queen. But will he just play queen g5? Yeah, that's what I thought. But then now the thing is that his queen is blocking the natural progression of the attack, which is g5 and g4. So there are some downsides to this move. Let's make him give up that bishop pair, first of all. Let's leave him with the bad bishop on g7. Oh no, I forgot that there's bishop h3 here. I should have played king h1. I missed that idea completely. He has bishop h3. After which I barely have just one move in the position, which is rook f2. Oh, he defended. Let's break through on the queen side. Let's use as much aggression as we can and get things moving here. The thing here is that I have to be able to survive this kingside attack, and if I can do that, then I'm going to win this game for sure. Because I'm completely winning on the queen side. Completely winning on the queen side. Nothing at all he can do on that side of the board. It's just the king side I got to somehow figure out how to defend that king side entirely. I probably should have just taken that d6 pawn, honestly. This knight g3 move is always going to be in the air right now, and oh wow, that can't be good move. That means he is moving backwards with his pieces in a situation where he should only be moving forward with his attack. And yeah, that's not the way I would go about this attack for sure. I would definitely move forward with gusto. My idea now is just to start penetrating down the c file. So rook c7, rook c1, take on b7, and then start attacking everything down there. He still has bishop h3, but then I think after rook f2, I'm defending, hopefully. So he chooses to take that, which is fine. I'll take with this bishop because my queen is guarding a2 pawn. I can go ahead and play this move next. I could play a check, then play pawn to d7. It's definitely one idea. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves and let's play a simpler move like this. And just really limit that capacity of that rook. So I'm playing rook f2 because I'm going to play rook c2. So now this move, to stop any kind of expansion. Don't know. Oh, he wants to play g5 and g4 now. Okay. That's fair and understandable. But he has to keep in mind that I am going to be attacking him as well on g7. It's kind of a long plan to get the pawn all the way to g4 and then take on h3 and blah blah blah. But then I'll certainly get in moves like rook b7, rook c7, rook takes g7. Okay, I will keep eating. aggressively attack this guy first and then worry about this pawn stuff here. Because taking on f3 or h3 isn't the end of the world for me. But me taking on g7 is the end of the world for him. Just stopped all play. And then I'm going to queen that a pawn. If the knight moves for any reason, it's checkmate. My king still has h2 to hide on. If any back rank checks ever came up. I can just push it. The goal is just to get a queen now. He's getting desperate now for something, anything. I have my own queen. And if he takes the queen, then I have rook h7 check. So that's not going to be fun for him. Checkmate, actually. So he's going to have to sacrifice on g2 now, basically, with the rook, if he wants to continue this attack. Otherwise, it's a tough one. Real tough one. Because my queen is threatening to also take on h8 with checkmate. Yeah, it's a resignable position because just no defense, really. Too many threats. Let's analyze real fast and see what we could have done better. One blunder in there. Okay, let's see it. So, it's the same-ish of the King's Indian. So now immediately knight b to d7 makes the most sense. Then he plays e5, which means I need to lock up the center in this game. That's what I do. So here an interesting exchange happened here. So after knight c5, knight f2 is suggested with b4 coming next, but he does have the opportunity to play a5 though. So I played b4 right away. That's the problem. So if knight a6, knight f2, knight b4 loses a pawn. Because if knight a6, if I play rook b1, he's going to take on h3, and I have completely shattered my kingside pawns, basically, is what's happening here. So I can't allow that. So b4 is basically a mistake here. I just missed that bishop h3 was an option after he played knight c5. So in this variation that he played, the way he played it, I can just take this guy. So then I developed the queen to b3 to get an attack on b7 going, but rook b1 makes a lot more sense for sure. And that variation didn't just loses a pawn on a7, I think. So here I correctly assessed the position and decided not to take on b6, b7. Play bishop b3, which is the correct move as per the computer as well. Then again, I'm hopefully made correct assessment here with bishop e2 or no? Okay, a4 is being suggested. Played bishop e2, just getting my king to safety as soon as possible, basically. But a4 does make a lot of sense too. Really, really powerful knight on b5 if I do play a2, a4. So bishop b6, queen g5. Then c5 right away makes a lot of sense. Yeah, definitely. But knight b5 I think is fine too. I'm attacking the weak pawn on d6. I don't see too much wrong with it personally. Rook f6, defending the d6 pawn. So knight c7, rook f to c1. Okay, I played c5 here right away. Rook f2 is a suggested move here. But after c5, bishop here. I could have played c6 in that position. Interesting. So c6, if he just takes, then what? Oh, that's a check. Comes with a check. I did not see that. I did not see that at all. Yeah, definitely c6 was the way to go. Played this move much weaker than the line suggested by the computer. Then knight g7. He definitely should not have gone backwards. I thought he would play knight g3 for a long time. Because if you take this, he has this idea of queen h4 and queen h2 checkmate. And it's very difficult to actually stop the mate. So for example, here, although the computer is saying there is ways of getting out of this whole mess. So let's just say I play queen h4, then what? Oh. Rook f d1, then after check, he can just get out, right? There's bishop g1, and that blocks and saves the day. Well, that's interesting. Good to know that. So I did not go this route. He didn't play knight g3. After rook c1, he played this awkward-looking knight g7, which I thought was a really stupid move, in all honesty. Because why would you pull your piece backwards in a scenario where the only thing you have going for yourself is this kingside attack, right? So if it were me, I would try to throw every piece towards the king side, and I would not be pulling my pieces backwards, especially if unprovoked. I didn't attack the knight even, so I'm not sure where he went with that knight, because that knight never saw daylight at all the whole rest of that game. But the knight on h5 was very menacingly placed, anytime ready to pop into g3. So definitely a very poor strategic decision to play knight g7 there. So then I started just taking some stuff. Oh, bishop c7 would have won the pawn on e5. So I didn't want to play d6 because I wanted to kind of solidify my entire game first, and give that rook on a8 no type of play at all. So I decided with a4. Rook f2, rook c2, h3, takes, rook c7. I took this one. Then I threw in the in-between move, rook c7. Very nice move by me, I think. Then I take. And I play queen 3 f3 just as a safety measure move, type of move, or to just allow no counterplay at all whatsoever. Because my queen side, I've already won the queen side. So let's stop any sort of possibilities on the king side at all. That's kind of the approach that I took with this move, queen f3. Just shuts down everything. So he tried some crazy stuff here. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but he tried it. But I just queened on him. So I could have queened on him right here too, actually. But I decided to just take the knight. Save my queen, of course. And then now it's still completely lost for black. So I just popped a queen because rook h7 is mate. So rook g2 was his only option to continue this, but ultimately it's checkmate anyway, and here he resigned. So that's the game. Hopefully, you know, I look forward to receiving your feedback from it. It was a really interesting game for me. Main takeaways was basically, you know, just calmly building up your attack and winning on one side of the board, and then winning on the other side of the board as well, and countering your opponent's attack on that wing, which is what I did on the king side. So that's it. Hope to catch you in my next video.